Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Heart of Christ Ministry. It has been a fantastically long time since I've had the luxury of popping in and doing this, but I'm telling you, man, I am renewed. I am refreshed. I am feeling powerful in my own essence, my own divine essence, and I am ready to hit the airwaves and rock and roll. So, like I said, it's literally half of the year is almost over, and the amount of healing, introspection, and just everything that has transpired these first 5 months, it has truly been a journey. All good though. Like, and you know, it's funny because sometimes when you go through stuff, you never think that journey is a good thing, but it's actually a freaking phenomenal thing that happens to all of us. And so once we're ready to embrace the truth of that, it takes us so much further than we could have ever imagined. And I am excited and happy to be here. Heart of Christ is back in the building. Reverend Sean Robert Grant. Right? So, got a great show for you today as we return. I was going to say, well, Heart of Christ is going into a new direction, but I'm not going to do that because here's the thing. I pray every morning. I meditate. I connect to the divine to see what needs to be tackled, or not even tackled, but embraced as a message for the day. And sometimes that can be financial. Sometimes that can be relationships. Sometimes that can be world events. You never know. So I just attune to the spirit and I let the spirit guide me in that regard. So if it looks like we're going to be all over the place, it's all good. That just means that I'm more attuned to the spirit and what the spirit wants to bring forth. And today is an amazing topic. As always, I say that every single episode because I mean it. Okay, so let's get to a few things here before we get going, guys. By the way, hope you are all doing fantastic. Hope you are coming up feeling really good after the past Mother's Day. And shout out to all the mothers out there holding it down. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. So thank you for that. But yeah, let's get rolling here. Right away, if you have any type of prayer requests, any type of questions that you need answering, guys, send an email, seang04@gmail.com. It will go directly to me unless it goes to spam, but usually they come right to me. I can handle that for you. I can pray for you, can surround you in just unlimited divine love and light. Whatever it may be, we're here for you. So reach out. SeanG04@gmail.com. All right. And then, so if you feel that this message or any messages in the past have benefited you in any way, shape, or form, guys, feel free to donate. Don't hesitate to support the ministry if you would. And so I wanted to sweeten the deal a bit for you because I understand in most cases, if we give, we want something in return. So, it's one of those things where I thought about this and I'm like, okay, what I want to do is if you are so kind as to offer your generosity in the form of money to this ministry, I wanted to give you something back in return. And I'm going to speak about that here in just a moment. But if you so decide, thank you in advance. It's Venmo, Heart of Christ Ministry, PayPal, SeanG04@gmail.com. Whatever you decide to give helps tremendously. And if you do give, okay, I got something new for you. It's called the Endless Prosperity Pact. And here's why I'm so amped up about this. Okay, so I'm going to tell you something. And most of you are going to fall out of your chairs and pass out when I tell you. But it's the truth. Last year, coronavirus, COVID-19 last year was the very best financial year that me and my wife have had. Period. Right? And I don't need to throw out no numbers to you. But it was an absolutely just mystical experience to watch as it unfolded. And you think, well, damn, like everybody's losing their jobs, not as much stuff out there. How is this possible? And I'm telling you, it's possible because it got to a space where the more and more I dove into embracing a God consciousness, into embracing a prosperity consciousness, and understanding what was the real source of my prosperity, it began to grow and expand. And it was a beautiful process. So here's what I'm going to do. If you give or if you donate, because, you know, no seed ever goes without a harvest, I'm going to send you this Endless Prosperity Pack. And all it is, it's a series of videos that I did from last year that basically hold the key to making the difference from you struggling financially or doing good financially to doing absolutely phenomenal financially, right? That's the Endless Prosperity Pack, and that is in there for you, okay? So if you give, you will receive that, no doubt about it. If not, maybe I'll work something out. I can give it to you anyway, but, you know, definitely sow a seed. We appreciate all that you do as well as your support. So, guys, let's get into it today. Heart of Christ Ministry 2021, healing separation in the world today. Man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Okay, if you are friends with me on Facebook, and you may notice last week, I think it was, I did a video, and it just inspired me so much because I look at the entire world. My nose started itching there for a bit. I look at the entire world. I look at the state of the world. And this is even before coronavirus. The one thing I see constant in the world, as long as I've been alive, almost 40 years now, is separation, 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 separation. Okay? And what I feel is that, and I'm a part of this as well, I feel that spirituality has played a big part, but see, not God's spirituality, man's spirituality has played a big part in separating people. Now, it doesn't stop there. We're talking about politics. We're talking about skin color. We're talking about, you know, money. When everybody is supposed to be abundant, everybody's supposed to be wealthy, all of a sudden we're separated because some people are extremely wealthy and some people are just flat out broke, right? So there's so much separation. And, you know, if you look at this ministry is called Heart of Christ. Okay. And where does that come from? That comes from Jesus, the heart that Jesus had, the heart of the Christ consciousness, which means that every single person is equal, right? When Jesus asked, if you're familiar in the Bible, he asked Joseph Arimathea, what is the heart of the Lord, right? And it says, hear ye, O Israel, you know, you shall love the God with all your heart, all your strength, all your might. And Jesus said, that's right. He said, you're very close, but there's a law that's no less great. And that law is what? Love your neighbor as yourself, right? That means everybody is your neighbor. Everybody you come into contact with is your neighbor. Love that person. Be kind to that person. And that brings me to what I'm introducing to you today. It's called kindness consciousness. My MO, my soul signature. If you go back a few episodes, you'll see where I was talking a bit about that on some of the episodes that we've had in the past. Kindness, compassion, love is my true nature. That is my nature. That is why I'm here, right? To spread kindness, compassion, and love. But I'm talking about kindness consciousness. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is go right into that right away. We got 3 for you. I'm back with the bullet points. Okay. Number 1, kindness consciousness, thinking, feeling, and acting in the purest essence of kindness towards everyone. Everyone is a reflection of you. Okay. So when I know that everyone is a reflection of me, why would I go and punch this person in the face? I'm just punching myself. I'm hurting myself. Right? You remember the quote Dalai Lama said, basically, hating another person is like drinking poison and expecting them to die. You're only affecting yourself. But see, this goes both ways in the sense that if we're kind to ourselves, right, that's reflected from the people outside of us, right? If we're kind to the people outside of us, it's going to perpetuate more of it. Okay, so when I say kindness consciousness, the first thing comes to mind, man, the vaccine. And Facebook is going to put that guidelines, CDC guidelines for the vaccine. But look, here's the thing. If you get the vaccine, I got nothing but love for you. If you don't get the vaccine, I got nothing but love for you. Why? Because my heart is on kindness. My heart is on compassion. My heart knows that your heart sees, feels, understands that there is something within you that's causing you to make a choice. And guess what? That is completely fine and okay in every sense of the word. There's nothing wrong with that. All right? That's kindness, right? Kindness consciousness. If you come up to me and you say, well, I voted for Trump, or I voted for Biden, guess what? That's okay. I voted for Bernie Sanders. That's okay, right? Because in your heart, that's what you feel is right. That's what you feel is correct, okay? So as long as you're following your heart, there can be no wrong way to do things, right? I think sometimes as parents, I have no kids, but I observe a lot. I have nieces and nephews. I think sometimes as parents, though, we want to stop our kids from messing up, having certain experiences that their souls need to go through. Okay? Their souls need to go through. So you've got to step into that realm of learning how to be kind as a parent and letting your child go through what they need to go through. Why? Because in God's eyes, there is no good or bad. There's no right or wrong. Dualistic living is non-existent, right? What looks bad to you is the lesson that this individual needs to put them on the right path, right? And that's how God sees it. And that's why God is the ultimate essence of kindness, right? But when we begin to make this our consciousness, when we begin to make this, how we feel, how we think, how we act, it permeates our entire life, right? It permeates our entire life. Okay. And the number one way to decide if you have a kindness consciousness or if you cultivated one of a high state, because we all have it, is how are people treating you? How are you treating other people? Right? Do you have animosity and hate towards someone else for another reason at all? You know what? Count it all joy, as Jesus would say. Count it all joy. And here's why. Because when you count it joy, it comes back to you. Right? It comes back to you. Every single person is just you in a different body. They're the same energy, that same divine energy. So what should be our highest objective? Number 2. I love how that flowed. Prime yourself to be kind in thought and feeling. Okay. And how do I prime myself to be kind? Well, I'll give you an example. As I'm lying in bed, I'll either say silently or out loud, depends on if my wife is still sleeping or if I'm by myself. Supreme infinite intelligence in my subconscious mind, God in me, what does it feel like to show myself unlimited kindness? Right? And I may say it a couple times, and then I sit in it, and then I start getting these God bumps, these goosebumps that really start to change my vibe. And I feel kindness. And when you're feeling kindness, because kindness is like, that's how kindness feels, right? And so you take 5, 10, 15, 20 hours, however long, prime yourself to be kind in thought and feeling. And guess what? It becomes second nature, right? I've been fortunate enough to where I feel like I've been born just to be kind. Because even as a little kid, like I would get an allowance and just give it to somebody who needed it more. And that was always in my nature. But the truth of the matter is, everybody has the capacity to do so. Like I was just born with it, so it comes naturally, but you have the God aspect in you to be able to do that, right? And when you know that, it's easier to implement. And I'm telling you, there is nothing else in the world, and I'm not talking about superficial stuff, but there's nothing else in the world than when you are genuinely kind to someone else who's basically yourself. There is no greater feeling. Okay. And you might be, you want to fight me on that. Hopefully you don't. But if you want to fight me on that, I promise you, there is no greater feeling in this world than being able to be kind to those around you, to those you meet, to those you come in contact with. Right. And for me, that's always been the biggest. It's always been the biggest joy of my life is to be kind to myself, first and foremost, to be kind to my wife, to be kind to my family, to be kind to strangers, to be kind to all of God's creatures, right? Like instead of trying to kill things, I say, okay, there you go. Get on outside, go enjoy your life. Like it all of a sudden breeds this gentleness that operates in every single area of your life. Right. And that is so very important. Look, there's so many things out there that seem so much more important than being kind to yourself and being kind to others. But I tell you, I know this. I have a feeling of it. I think I got it in meditation. When you transition, you know what's going to happen? You're going to be asked, how did you treat others? That's going to be the most important thing. It ain't going to be, well, how big was your bank account? Player. No. You're going to leave this life and it's going to be, how much love did you show to your fellow man and woman? How kind were you to everyone you met? And then all of a sudden you're going to see a movie play of your entire life to see when you were kind and when you were selfish, right? And it's not a sense of judgment. Right? It's not going to be anything about judgment. It's going to be more about like, this is you, right? What are you going to do with it? Right? Because it's free will. You see what I'm saying? So make kindness the priority, because I'm going to tell you, I was in deep meditation one time, and my spirit guide or inner guidance or whatever you want to call it relayed to me, your kindness is where your wealth lies, right? Your kindness is where your wealth lies. And see, I didn't get that because I always thought wealth was just money, but wealth goes so much deeper than that. Wealth is like fulfillment. It's money definitely included, but it's fulfillment as well. And I began to think about it, and Spirit was so right, because when I'm giving, when I'm being kind, when I'm giving a nice word, when I'm just in that kindness consciousness, I feel my absolute best. It makes me, it lights my soul up. My solar plexus shines like the very sun that it is. And I'm telling you, it's a life changer. It just literally transforms and transmutes any heavy, dense energies in your life. Okay, moving on. Sorry, I screamed in the mic. Number 3, start spreading the news. No. Start spreading kindness at this moment. Okay? And how do we do that? There's unlimited ways to do that, right? Is there anybody near you? Tell them you love them. Tell them they look nice. But sincerely, genuinely mean it, right? Because superficial stuff doesn't work. And I'm not saying that you're superficial, but just so you know, like, the most important thing is to feel it within first, right? Think of kindness and how wonderful it is and feel it, right? And then, boom, spread it. Spread it to everybody you meet. Spread it to, if you're near social media, which you probably are because you're watching me, get on and comment something kind to someone who did something that they feel strongly about, right? Sometimes we get so wrapped up in ourselves, just like, selfish. We get so wrapped up in ourselves, we forget that everything else outside of us matters as well. And you know what happens when you get in a rut? The best thing you can do is go and help somebody else, right? It takes all the attention off you, creates clarity, right? And then helps you to progress. But start spreading kindness at this moment, right? And it doesn't even have to be things you say. You see somebody's picture, send kind, loving thoughts to them, right? Feel a sense of compassion for the people that are going through the whole situation with the virus and stuff, and like they're unable to make things work, or they're suffering more at the moment than other countries may be, right? There's so many opportunities to do that, to embrace that in its entirety right here, right now. You just have to allow it. And if you don't have any ideas, all you got to do is say, "Dear God, dear universe, dearest love, essence, benevolent force, show me, reveal to me how to express kindness in this moment." And it may tell you something like, okay, go to the mirror, look in the mirror, smile, and say, "I love you." And say it until we tell you to stop, right? That in itself is you spreading kindness at the moment. And so here's one of the most powerful, globally wonderful things about when we do good, genuine good for ourselves. All right. I'm like, what is that? What is that? It just fell. Oh, it kind of distracted me a bit. When we do, I was like run right through the wall. When we do genuine, kind things for ourselves, because each and every one of us, and I say us, I'm talking about animals, plants, every single atom and molecule you see, it's all connected in one big omnipotent, omnipresent, like just one big ball of energy, of universal energy. It's all connected. There is no separation, right? The whole point of the thing, healing separation, is to know that everything is just one, water bottle included, microphone, everything. So when you do something kind to yourself, although people might not feel it on a conscious level, subconsciously, you're helping the entire universe. Isn't that amazing? If I take the time to be kind to myself, if I take the time to be kind to others, this video in itself, I'm helping the entire universe because I'm raising the vibration of the entire universe. So everybody is going to feel that kick, which is, I find like is just beyond amazing, whether it's in the sense of a thought, whether it's in the sense of a nice feeling coming over them. Everyone is going to feel that. Truly magical, right? It ain't magical. It's just God in action, God in expression. But it starts the moment we start spreading kindness at this moment. Okay? So before we head out and finish up, I just want to say this. So take it back to the title real quick. We're in this together. I was thinking about names to come up with before I did this actual episode. And so I said, well, togetherness consciousness, kindness consciousness, love consciousness. But either way, it comes down to understanding what? Understanding that we are each other. Everybody is the same. Media, politics, religion may try to tell you different, but the truth of the matter is we are all connected in the circle of life. We are all connected. We're all the same. Doesn't matter if my skin is brown and your skin is olive. Does not matter. Doesn't matter if I come from New Orleans and you come from California. Does not matter. We are all connected. We are all connected. We're all connected. Okay? So I say this because I want you to remember this the next time something ridiculous happens in the world and you feel like judging the absolute heck out of it or the person, right? We are connected. And it's important, even if you can't do it right away, to come to a space of love for those individuals that normally you'd want to judge the pants off of. And you know why I say this? And it may sound selfish, but it's important. You have to do that for you, right? Because if you're sitting up here and you're judging the politician, if you're judging Joe Biden, or you're judging Donald Trump, or you're judging George Floyd, or you're judging Derek Chauvin, you're judging these people, you're judging yourself, right? And guess what? The universe does not play. And I say it like that because it don't, because what you put out, you better believe is boomeranging right back to you. Okay? So it's selfish in a sense, but it's there to keep you from being hit by your own judgment, right? Why not express love to everybody, right? Why not? You know, let's say you're a Christian. You know, Christians are supposed to stand for what Jesus stood for. That's where it came from. Christian, right? And what did Christ do? What was Christ known for? Full-blown acceptance. He wasn't concerned with the religious leaders. He went down into the pit and got the lepers and the tax collectors and all these guys who were cast off, like the hookers and stuff like that. He went to them and showed them complete love and non-judgment, and still gave them wisdom to help them to turn their lives around. This is what it comes down to, right? Has to come down to love. Has to come down to me realizing that I'm the exact same as everybody else. Because when I do that, then it's easier for me to give love. But if you miss that whole concept of oneness, you're going to fall victim. You're going to fall victim, and you're going to see it come back into your life. It's universal law. Universe just struck with thunder to confirm that. It's universal law. So why not just give love, kindness, and compassion to everybody? Because that's what's going to come back, right? Here's the thing. You can't expect to judge somebody or talk bad about somebody or do anything against somebody and not have it come back to you in some kind of way. I'm telling you, that is law, right? I just want you to receive love. So I send you love, send it back around to everybody else, okay? All right. Wrapping up today's message. Once again, if you have any prayer requests, any questions, we may do an Ask Reverend Sean episode where we just crank out a bunch of questions and then go from there. But anywho, if you have any prayer requests, any questions, feel free to write to us. SeanG04@gmail.com. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. We love that. We love it. We love it. And if you're feeling happy, you're feeling kind. Definitely, we appreciate you donating if you feel led to do so. Venmo, Heart of Christ Ministry, PayPal, SeanG04@gmail.com. And remember, if you do donate, sow a seed, whatever you want to call it, we're going to sweeten the deal for you, right? We're going to give you the Endless Prosperity Pack, once again, which is a series of videos that will take you from what? From being financially mediocre to being financially free, right? And if you give it some time, you'll see it do even more good in your life. And this is basically what I use. I stated before, my wife and I had the best year financially that we've ever had. And that's because of consciousness, right? It's your thinking, your feeling, your thought processes, your ability to look at money as a spiritual thing, as a love current, as opposed to something that is just pieces of paper. But the Endless Prosperity Pack will cover all of that. And I promise you, when you look at these videos, when you learn the concepts within them, it will be worth your while, right? Now just imagine you can get that for like 15, 20 bucks. You sow a seed. You got a multitude of videos that's going to show you how to never make money a problem in your life ever again. Woo! And I'm proud of it, boy. Proud of it. All right. With that being said, guys, thank you. It's been good to be back. I feel great. I feel amazing. The lightning and thunder is getting ready to come. So with that being said, I'm going to take off. Have a wonderful Monday. No. Have a wonderful Monday. We will talk soon. Take care. Bye-bye. Every dream begins with a vision. A vision that sees everything before anyone else ever can. A vision that ignites